Hello, my name is Serena Sakrim, and today I'm going to discuss my microbes that I chose for this presentation. So, the first one I'm going to discuss is called Probacterium Acne. So this is an acne disease. This bacteria lives on your skin and contributes to infections that can form basically pimples. It mostly lives in your glands and the follicles. So this acne mostly comes from excess oil that forms overactive glands. It attacks the skin, soft tissue, or even deep organ tissues. This microbe is bacterial anaerobic and gram-positive. The morphology for this microbe is slow-growing and it has a rod-like shape. So in these three pictures, I had liked the first picture because it shows like what your skin looks like before it gets infected, and then it shows what happens to the follicle when this disease attacks it. And then the next picture, it just shows that's how it looks on your skin. Most teenagers go have it, but it's not contagious. And then the last picture, that's just how it looks under the microscope. So next I'm going to talk about treatments and side effects. So Probacterium acne can lead to many different types of side effects, and it has many different treatments, but the most common treatment is penoxyl peroxide. It basically attacks the bacterial cell and it helps kill the bacteria. The other ones also inhabit the enzyme in the cell wall, and it disturbs the cell synthesis, and then the product can kill the bacteria. But while using these treatments, it does come with side effects. And some of the side effects include peeling, redness, burning, irritation, headache, pain, swelling, upset stomach, and vomiting. It is not present on the skin. It is present on the skin and isn't passed from one person to another. So it's not contagious. You can't get it from another person. And lastly, the overall mortality rate was 5.9%. So one out of 17 people can get it, and it was sporadic. Just over 100 years ago, P. acne was involved in a pathologic disease. So the next microbe I'm going to talk about is Mesovirus. So Mesovirus is an envelope virus that's carrying a negative single-strand RNA. It causes inflammation of the brain. Also, Mesovirus is transmitted by direct contact with an infectious droplet or airborne spread. It can encode to at least 8 structural proteins, which have letter names of F, C, H, L, M, N, P, and V. Some of the letters have many different roles, but letter H has a role of the attachment of the virus to the host, and letter F is involved in the spread of the virus from one cell to another. Mesovirus replicates in the nervous system and immune system. So it basically just enters within the body, and it just moves towards different areas, and it can just spread throughout the body. In these pictures, I liked how the first picture shows what can happen when you get this disease and what effects it has to the skin, and how Mesovirus can be contagious for 4 days before and 4 days after the appearance of the rash that you get from this disease. And it prevents its spread by getting a vaccine, all children against measles. So some treatments and side effects. So Mesovirus can affect the immune system, making organ system very valuable. But some medications you can use is ibuprofen, which helps reduce fever and relieves pain. But some of the other drug medications can cause stomach pain, dirty urine, loss of appetite, and headaches. And for this disease, there is a vaccine that you can get which can help treat measles, and it's called the MMR vaccine. But with the MMR vaccine, there are side effects such as having a sore arm, fever, temporary pain. Your joints might feel some stiffness and a mild rash. And lastly, Mesovirus is a human disease and it is not known within animals. And lastly, so Mesovirus has occurred worldwide and its remaining leading cause of mortality, especially among children between the ages 5 and 8. Mesovirus we get mesovirus fewer than 1,000 cases per year. Most people can survive mesovirus, but in some cases complications can occur. And lastly, the last outbreak took between 1989 to 1991. I feel like this disease is just mostly found in younger children from the research that I did, and that you can prevent it, you just have to be very cautious. And the last microbe I'm going to discuss is Hypoplasm Calcium. So this is a fungus virus. It has a mitochondria which has a thick wall, round, uncellular, and are lane finger-like projections on the surface. It grows in moist soil. The appearance can be smooth, bumpy, and spore for capsules. This microbe is non-motility and heterotroph. And in these pictures, the first one, that's just how it looks when it's on the skin. And then I had liked the second picture because it shows that when you inhale it, where it goes and like what area of the body it affects, and it also shows how you can get this disease, like from what type of animals. So treatments and side effects. So it's a has a fungal cause and can also lead to lung disease. But it can really affect any part of the body, including your mouth, liver, central nervous system. But it can spread to the lungs, but also to other parts like the brain and spinal cord. But for this disease, the most common medication is antifungal medication. There isn't a specific treatment. There's no vaccine that is used, but they just require you to take antifungal medication. But some of the side effects of this type of medication can lead to itching, burning, redness, feeling sick, tummy pain, diarrhea, and rash. And in the picture, like I stated, you get it from birds and bats. It is not contagious and it cannot be transmitted from a person or animal to someone else. And lastly, around 60% to 90% of people who live in Ohio and near the Mississippi River get this type of disease. Is most common in that area. I'm assuming it's because there's people in those states have a farm. They're by water. They have animals. It's just where a lot of animals live, I'm assuming, and it appears in adult age 65 years and older. And the rate is very high in the Midwest. Like I said, most people who live in a farm, they have animals, especially birds and chickens. And it is most common in people who have HIVs and AIDS or in a weak immune system. And it's also self-limited. However, it's very rare deaths can occur. And then this is just my works cited page where I got all of my information from. Thank you.